Room 442 is brought to you by North Star Bets. That's a win.
With the Premier League coming to a close, we thought it would be a good idea to go way back to last August and look at our predictions for what we thought the season would be.
When you say we, you mean you.
This was actually your idea, James, for a fact. James was like, you know what we should do is go back and look at what our predictions would be.
But that was up until the point when I saw my predictions.
And we are all about to be terribly roasted here. Me more so than these gentlemen. That's James Sharman. Albert Vartanian is joining us. I'm Sarah Pariah. This is Room 442. Let's have a little bit of fun. We're looking at players to watch who we thought would be a player to watch in the season. Our top four, which was, we'll get there, and our hottest take of the 2022-23 season. So let's start with who we thought our player to watch of the season was. I had two. Let's see who the first one was. Roll the tape.
Here we go.
To Julian Alvarez, because I mentioned him last week when we were talking about top scorer and whatnot.
Oh, yeah.
But the game, Liverpool and Man City, I mean, we saw Haaland absolutely butcher his chances. But Alvarez got on the board, and he's so young, and I just think he's not going to be the top scorer. He's definitely, like, he might not even, I don't know what City are even going to win this year. They're so good, but they like to choke in the Champions League. But I think he is going to be somebody to keep your eye on. So
the minute I saw him score,
I thought
here
the
we
same
go.
thing.
Haaland's going to butcher his chances.
City, what are they going to win? What do I know about
Champions
anything?
League.
Well, listen, guys, thank God I said Julian Alvarez because he did go on to have a great season. He
did.
won a World Cup,
did,
and he might have a treble just at the ripe age of 21. Yeah, fine. Because what I said next was just disgusting. Please.
is Alanga, Manchester United. 22 years old. He played 14 games last season. Played pretty well. He had that brace against Brighton last year, which was kind of like his, opening debut. Depending on how Sancho does, I think he might be able to slide in there because Manchester United, we're not really sure about what their lineup is going to be. I think that's the biggest thing.
Anthony Alanga.
So where is Alanga now?
I'm about to pull it up. I mean, this is riveting.
He didn't
right
play
now.
14 games for United, which he did the previous year.
He did play. I don't know what he
Imagine.
did, though. He
Anthony
didn't do a lot.
Alanga. Oh my goodness.
Wow, where did that
Was
come from?
I wrong?
He was decent the season before,
He
right?
was decent the season before, and it looked like he was coming up. And because of his age, and we also didn't know what was going on with Man U. I think the whole Ronaldo thing as well. But I mean, I couldn't be more wrong. There couldn't be something more wrong.
So he 16 appearances in the Premier League, 0 goals, 1 assist. 5 appearances in the Europa League, 0 goals, 0 assists. 5 appearances in the EFL Cup, 0 goals, 1 assist.
Absolutely incredible. Clearly, I know what I'm talking about. I definitely don't, but Albert Vartanian does because this is who he had as a player to watch going into the 2022-23 Premier League season.
I just feel he's a £100 million player, but forget about the money. He's a very good player, and he was excellent when he was at Aston Villa, one of the best players in the Premier League. You don't just lose that. And time again, when these players go to Manchester City, there's always this adjustment period. It happened with Bernardo Silva, it happened with Riyad Mahrez, it happened with João Cancelo, who's probably one of the best fullbacks in the Premier League, if not in the world at the moment. Grealish had a tough season last year, but I think coming into this season, it should be a lot different, and he's going to have a lot more playing time. Raheem Sterling is now out. Gabriel Jesus, 2 players who can play on the wing. Now he can occupy that position, play on the left side. And we've seen Pep use him a lot in the preseason. And he's been really good. Back to the old Grealish, getting the ball, beating players, getting fouled a ton, and also now linking up with Erling Haaland. He's going to be that type of player who can beat players on the wing to get it into Haaland.
Well, that guy sounds like he knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, especially the Cancelo.
Yeah.
That worked out.
We'll
Yeah, that
give
worked
you
out
the
well.
Jack
Exactly. You
Grealish.
left.
No, that was a great shout, Jack Grealish.
No, listen.
Oh, yeah, a great shout. Okay, player to watch, £100 million.
Yeah,
yeah.
Forget about the money.
Yeah.
How can you forget about the money? It's
No, I'm
£100
with
million.
Sharp. That sounded like an incredible shot. You just can't lose it. And he's not like a stat patter. He's not one of those guys, but he's so effective on the ball. I think the past couple of seasons, he's been one of the most fouled players, which is crucial because he gets fouled in important positions. And playing with Haaland now, like I mentioned there, Haaland scores most of his goals. I think 51 of his goals came inside of the box.
Yeah.
And who was passing him? Those guys going to the byline, which was Jack Grealish or Mahrez or De Bruyne or Bernardo Silva on the other side.
And by the end of the season, he was one of the first names on that team sheet too.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah.
Right. Foden,
was a
Phil Foden
smart
wasn't,
shout.
right?
Does he get
Yeah.
into a team of the season? I don't know.
I think he's got to be in the conversation. He was
Yeah.
fantastic.
I don't even know who I'd put in the team.
It
of
was
the season.
definitely a smart shout, what Albert chose.
Yeah.
Like,
We
you
could just end the
knew-
show
you
now.
knew.
Oh no, you got a good one.
Oh
coming
yeah,
later.
that's right. I got one more.
Lastly, let's look at what
Oh,
James
Charbet.
Chardin
All right.
had as his player to watch.
Conor Gallagher.
of all players. If you watched Palace last year, he was the talisman, he was the maestro, he did everything for that team. And all this time we're thinking, where's he from? Oh yeah, Chelsea. He's a Chelsea player on loan. They've got so many players on loan. He's back in pre-season with the club. He said he wants to try and make an impact at Chelsea this year. They might still loan him back out. I know Palace really want him back. Regardless where he's playing, whether it's Palace or Chelsea, this kid could be really special. He wants to push for an England World Cup spot as well. He does things in the midfield that we haven't seen from English midfielders for a very long time. Playing in that central position, can put his ball in the foot, foot the ball, spread it around. He's got great pace as well. He's got that charisma on the pitch. I think he's a fantastic footballer.
That charisma.
I stand by all of that. I stand by it all, Sarah.
I blame Chelsea.
Yeah, me too.
I was gonna say, like, looking at his stats now, he has played 35 Premier League games, 8 Champions League. He has 3 goals. He was definitely there, but Chelsea overall was just a disaster.
He was actually one of their better players this season, I think.
Yeah.
Now was the right choice? No, it's a terrible choice by me. But no one foresaw Chelsea and this meltdown. No. At that point, Thomas Tuchel was the coach. Don't forget, right? And they were defending Champions League winners.
Those were the days.
He's a victim of the situation at Chelsea.
All right.
When we do this again in like early August, I'm picking Conor Gallagher as my team to watch.
Listen, that season that he had prior to this one with Crystal Palace, when it comes to like players and the best of the rest, I mean, outside of the top 6, he was probably the best midfielder.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm with Charms.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Definitely.
No.
Stupid Chelsea, man.
Well,
And watch
listen.
Poch with him.
Yeah,
Pochettino with Conor Gallagher.
Well, you know what? He's just the kind of player that Poch loves too.
Probably,
all engine, 100%, go. You watch him.
He's a player.
Ballon d'Or this
He's
time
calling
next
it
year.
now. Clip it.
All right.
Say
Well,
right now,
listen.
can we do that?
It wasn't
Conor
a
Gallagher will
terrible.
be your Ballon d'Or winner this time next year.
You've heard it here first. It wasn't a bad shout, James. But now we'll look into our top 4 and let's see what James had to say about this one.
Over the top 4 teams, I think for all 3 of us, I can probably say Liverpool, Man City, 1, 2, in somewhat of an order.
Oh my God.
3, 4 for you.
Yeah, it's a great question. Spurs, are the dark horse to even go beyond the top 4, right? Maybe top 2 if there's a decline somewhere else. But I'm putting Spurs at 3 at the moment. And 4th is going to be a real battle. Chelsea are confusing, right? Because they're still signing players right now. We should do this again later in August before the transfer deadline. Because who knows, maybe by that point, CR7's wearing blue. You don't know, right? But they're going to spend lots of money. And they can't be much worse or less consistent than they were last year. But I really like what Arsenal's done. Youngest team in the league. And some great signings with Champions League experience. So I'm going to say City, Liverpool, Spurs, and Arsenal. That's my top 4.
You saved yourself there with Arsenal, but I mean...
2 of the 4. 2 of the 4 isn't bad.
2 of the 4. I mean, we were all so... We'll get to mine in just a moment. You actually didn't say yours because you were hosting our show, but we were all called, Man City and Liverpool, for sure.
For sure,
that's
right?
not crazy,
No one
though.
foresaw this
Yeah.
demise by Liverpool, right?
my goodness.
I will say, I missed the couch a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
And
Shout out to our old set,
And
too.
I'm glad that I've retired that shirt.
Yeah.
Right, apart from that, though, listen, it didn't work out. Spurs, no one thought they'd be as bad as they've been this season.
Well, that was everybody's dark horse.
Yeah,
to win the
it was.
Premier League.
I was
which is
banking on them
insane.
to make me look smart.
Remember, they ended this season by passing Arsenal into the top 4. They ended so strong.
Yeah.
Champions League, Conte, blah, blah, blah. And
Here we go.
here we go.
It just shows how crazy year it was. All these predictions, which look terrible now, there's real reasons why that they fell apart, and it's because of surprises.
Yeah.
Well, what a year it was.
None
the
of us
World
had
Cup, right? The World
Newcastle
Cup happened.
finishing 3rd, right? I
Yeah,
mean,
no one did
Brighton
that.
getting in there. No, it was difficult. But here was my top 4. Even worse.
Changed my mind, and I've taken the same as you, actually. City, Liverpool, Tottenham, Chelsea. Only because I was thinking about it, and we spoke about this too. Chelsea finished 3rd last year, and they've now got Raheem Sterling. They're still a super strong team. They have a great coach. And I think the talent is still there, and maybe that whole getting rid of Lukaku, like you mentioned, maybe that actually does come into play and benefit them because you have this whole locker room conflict kind of out. And Raheem Sterling, we've seen him score goals at City, and for England, he I think has the ability. I want Arsenal to be in the top 4, if I could choose, but with a young team, a lot of experience comes in too. So I'm a little concerned, but I would love to see Arsenal, the vintage 4th place.
Raheem Sterling,
you got one right.
28 matches, 6 goals, 3 assists. I mean, not bad, but for him,
No.
not
I mean,
great.
but you also can't expect what he did at Man City. You thought he would still be able to do
Well, especially with
something.
Tuchel being a great coach.
If Tuchel stayed at Chelsea, they wouldn't be in this position. Let's be honest.
Yeah,
Come on.
No, you're right.
Come on.
It's just crazy. I
No,
mean,
it is
we can make fun of each other, and we will, but we're not the only people making these picks, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there was
finishing
good
11th.
evidence to suggest that your picks are going to be bang on.
Yeah, it's impossible to predict these things.
Let's never do it again.
Is it?
Yeah.
Stay tuned.
We all had Chelsea and Liverpool finishing, or no, you had Arsenal, I guess, but we had Liverpool finishing in the top 4 as well as
Honestly,
Tottenham.
I didn't make the prediction there, but it would have been City, Liverpool, Tottenham, and probably Chelsea.
Yeah.
That would have been my top 4.
Incredible. All right, finally, let's look to our hottest takes of what we thought would happen in the Premier League last season. Maybe the best part of the show. Here was my hot take last August.
Manchester United will finish outside the top 6. Crazy
It's a
one.
lukewarm take.
Yeah, no, I know. I honestly, at this point, we have no one on this side has any faith in them. But I think it's just they're such an exciting side to watch, and because we don't know what we're going to get. Are we going to get really good football? Somehow they've all tied it together, or is it just going to be a disaster and we're all going to be cheering on the sidelines because none of us want them to do well?
The best part was that James was fully backing me there, being like, "Oh, it's a lukewarm take. Of course they're not going to finish well." Like
First month of the season, it was bang on.
We were sure. There was so much disaster, but they were really a team that pulled it together and were.
And nobody
fantastic.
believed in Ten Hag.
No,
not even
not a
United.
soul.
I don't care what anybody says. No one
even
thought this
though
was going to happen.
Even until December, with all the Ronaldo drama, there were still doubts about Manchester
Ronaldo,
United.
I forgot he played there.
Oh,
it's been a long time.
Yeah.
Long
All right.
season.
Well, Albert has 2 hot takes, and one of them is fantastic. But let's
One of
start
them
with
is brutal.
the first one.
Slightly hotter. West Ham to finish above Manchester United. Is that a hot take? I don't know. It should be, right?
It's not scolding.
But it should be a hot take.
It should be.
Right?
Yeah, traditionally
It's
speaking,
not
absolutely
scolding.
should be.
I like West Ham to finish above them because of a settled squad.
my
I like
God.
their team, a deeper team. When you have a new manager coming in, bringing new players, similar to what I was saying about Spurs and Conte, there's that adjustment period. And I think United are really going to go through that, especially if Ronaldo leaves. Who's going to score these goals? Martial, Rashford, and Sancho combined for 13 goals last season.
I mean, I didn't think Rashford would do what he did.
Do you know what, though? Once again, we were all like, it's doable. It's totally plausible.
More about West Ham than United.
I had
right?
so much faith in
14.
West Ham.
They did so well in Europe last year. They were building, Paqueta.
Hey, they've reached a
Look at
European
that.
final. Hey, they're in a European final, so
Yeah.
credit to West Ham. That is a brutal take.
We had to give Albert that one because his actual hot take was bang on and no one knew how he even figured this out. Roll the clip.
Leicester City to be relegated from the Premier
That's a
League.
hot take.
That's a hot
really
take.
hot
Yeah.
But you know what? No team has improved less than Leicester in this
Oh,
window,
God.
right? And if they lose, well, Cucurella's almost gone.
He's gone.
Yeah.
If Madison goes,
You hear Vardy is linked to different teams too. Chelsea.
Oh,
Vardy's
game.
staying there.
He's staying, isn't he?
he could have left for big money 3 years ago. He
Yeah.
didn't, right?
Unless he
I think
sees the
he's
writing
staying
on the
there.
wall.
This was
Whoa,
an
whoa, whoa.
incredible show
Amazing.
because you knew before it even happened. Somehow
I don't know how
you
I knew.
looked into
You
your
know those
crystal
moments
ball.
in your life, right? I think of my daughter being born. I think of the day I got married. I think the day that Bertie told me in the hallway, I think Leicester could be going down. It's up there. One of the most incredible moments of my life.
I didn't bet it. I wish I did. 14-1. I would have paid out huge.
No
Yeah,
kidding,
you
eh?
would've- why
What a
didn't you
take.
I
bet
woke up
it?
this morning before coming on here, and I'm thinking, like, how did I even predict that? I mean, my whole thing was they lost Kasper Schmeichel late in the transfer window, which he's key for them. They didn't replace him. They're losing Fofana to Chelsea, who was huge for them. He didn't play a lot of games, but he was huge when he played. They never replaced anybody. They didn't bring anybody in. I knew they were going to struggle, and that was obviously just a take. I didn't know how
The relegation, like that.
that it would actually go down that way.
Yeah, that's an incredible shout.
Plus, there was always stuff circling around Madison and Tielemans. They might leave, and it looked like they were going to leave for a long time.
I think
Yeah,
a big story
that's
too was
fair.
that I thought Cucurella played for.
Yeah, that's right. I thought
Oh,
about that.
yeah.
One of those faux pas. I
Yeah,
meant
yeah.
Fofana.
Fofana.
Sounds
yeah.
same.
But now they're down, man.
Yeah, very similar. Fofana, Cucurella. Yeah.
All right, finally, let's get to James Sharman's hot take because this one might be the best one of them all.
My hot take, which is a legitimate hot take, right, is this. It's Ronaldo. It's around him again.
Win the Gold
He will
Medal.
play games in August. I'm pretty sure about this. You want to beef up his stock, right? Right now, it's broken goods. The baggage is so heavy. So they'll play him. He'll do well. I've got a feeling that Chelsea might get back into this conversation at some point. and you'll be seeing Ronaldo in Chelsea blue by September, and he'll have a fantastic season, and he'll score your 20+ goals. That's a hot take for you.
It's a crap take.
You said it with so much conviction,
I know.
too. Ronaldo
An
will be in
actual
blue.
hot take, as if
There were such strong rumors though back in August about him moving to Chelsea again. Ruined it for me.
20
Chelsea.
plus goals. James, that was a shout.
Well, he scored how many goals in Saudi Arabia?
I don't know, but they didn't win, so that's
No,
all.
they didn't win, right? They finished second?
Oh, imagine going to Saudi Arabia and not winning the league, being Ronaldo. He's fuming somewhere.
He's done.
Yeah. But no, that was a crazy take. I mean, it could have happened. It all could have happened. All of this could have happened, but it didn't. And that's why we love the Prem.
One did.
Well, one did. Maybe two.
Two.
Actually, two, yeah. But no, it was a fun little look back as to what we thought was going to happen. And most of it didn't, because that's the Premier League for you. We never know what's going to happen, but that's why we love it so
No
much.
more predictions.
We're also idiots.
Yeah.
So dumb.
Room 442 is brought to you by North Star Bets. That's a win.